friends, hope you're doing well. I'm Dr. Milind. So recently, May INICET 2023 results were out, and there are a lot of students who scored an incredible rank. And today we have with us Dr. Shweta Bhartiya, who scored an incredible rank of 56, which is amazing achievement. So many congratulations, Dr. Shweta, on your achievement. And today we are going to talk to her, and let's try to get out those secrets from her. Hi, Shweta. Welcome to this talk. Please
Docs,
introduce yourself.
it's really an honor to be here, to be very honest. And hi, guys.
So please introduce yourself.
My name is Dr. Shweta Bhartiya, and I'm from batch 16 of PPS Government Medical College for Women. And you all might know that through our Miss World, because she was my senior actually, Manushi Chiller. So that's it. This is like,
Yeah,
I do not have like so much of the background stories, but this is it.
yeah, that's good. So tell us what kind of students you were in like UG, during your UG time, like studying all the time or a mixed kind of.
No. It was like perfect. Like I balanced out everything. Like whenever I used to like study, I just used to study, and whenever I was just just going around, roaming around, I was just doing that only at that time. And I was definitely a sprint racer. Exams ke jo, that one night
Before.
that
Mhm.
mm,
Okay.
we all used to do that thing. You just stretch out the entire night,
So
and then you will pass with flying colors, and that's how I was used to be.
good. So tell us about like during your UG time, did you do any coaching? Like when did you start, preparing for exam purpose like PG entrance preparation?
Honestly, I was not thinking about PG since day one of my that MBBS. I was always into USMLE initially,
Mm.
and I did even like started studying for it. I was doing that all Najib. The people used to say, "Na Dr. Najib ki videos dekho." I used to do that. I was doing pathoma, and I was doing like everything I could at that time. But then COVID happened, and there was just a point of time when whole of my family like got sick, and I was in Haryana, and my family they stay in Rajasthan.
Mm.
So borders of Rajasthan were sealed, and I felt helpless at that time because I was not able to do anything for my family, and my mother, she has to do all the work. And that was just trigger point that I was just a state away, and I was not able to do anything. So staying in a different country, which is like almost 15 to 20 hours you are away.
Yeah, it would be.
So that, yeah, that just made me realize that it's better to stay close to the people you really love.
Yeah. So when did you started doing your classes? Like did you join anything?
Yeah, I joined in that COVID only, when I realized all that thing. And at that time I joined Marrow.
Mm.
Initially, primary source was Maro only. So, in final year, it was just in final year. It was 2020, and it was my final year. So I just started it, and then I was just doing the main videos only at that time.
Mhm.
So I just did my final year wale subjects at that time, and that time also I was not thinking about preparing. So I was just doing the stuff because I had time. So I think that I should make the best use of it. So I did that.
And what about like internship? A lot of students they start good, they start in their like final prof, they start preparing, they do classes and prepare notes. But internship is somewhere they again start because it's hectic sometimes, so they lose that consistency. So how did you manage your study and your internship?
Actually, in internship, when it started, I sat for like 5 to 6 hours,
Mm.
and then I made a whole plan, like 12 months plan, like how I'll get very good rank with internship. I did that very well and like spent so many hours, and then I ended up screwing my internship.
Oh.
I didn't do anything in that time. Like literally, I was clueless in mid of the internship. And 6 months
Mm.
happened. I was like, dude, what have you done? Like, have you? I was not even opening books at that time. And my duties, like everyone used to say that I'm very heavy-footed. मतलब मेरे साथ duty नहीं करते थे लोग. They used to say that if I would be there, there would be just lots of patience and patience and patience. So my duties were really very hectic. So I didn't study much in internship, and in the end, I really screwed up, and I regretted that for in the
But
beginning only, and then I got over it.
taking your line, I'll say something that maybe you have as you said you are heavy footed, like a lot of patients you had to see. But if you see the current patterns of exam that we have, there are a lot of clinical based scenarios, there are a lot of instrument based questions, and I think this what it is, maybe my opinion may be biased, or maybe I might be wrong, but what I have seen that the students who actually have done a good internship or worked good, they, I mean, I have seen them getting better rank. Maybe because they are already sensitized to the clinical scenarios. Maybe, and that is what is my observation, and that is what I have been telling to the students. So maybe passively you learn a lot of things which you don't realize, and that is why what I believe that you should do your internship well. So that is my opinion, but I agree with your point as well that it's difficult to study
Yeah,
with
even
internship.
it has really helped me, like, to be very honest. It I will not say like totally it has helped me for my exam, because like, yeah, 1 2 3 questions were definitely from that what you learn from internship, but it has helped me decide what exactly I want to do in the future.
Mm,
Because I was always like, surgery person, but now I have done, internship, and that has actually, the purpose of internship is really solved for me.
mm.
So, I know what I have to do right now.
So how did you like start your preparation? Like how did you plan your study, and how a day in Shweta's life looked like when she was preparing, like focused for NICT?
Except it was like, I gave NEET and it was horrible. To be very honest, I just qualified at that time. Just qualified, you can say, like 1 or 2 marks. So at that time, I talked to Dr. Aditya Gupta,
Mhm,
and I just texted him because back in my mind it was always there that I have to crack this November
mhm,
NICT anyhow.
mhm,
By hook and crook, I'll give all of mind to it. I have done this thing. So I just texted him कि सब ऐसे ऐसे है and I have not scored really well and I have not started it yet. So how should I proceed?
mhm.
I just said this thing to him, and then he gave me like an overall. He gave me a view of like how my preparation should look like.
Look like.
In this 5 months. Yeah, it should. Well, it was just a broad view,
Mhm.
because what I believe is that जो fine details होती है ना, the fine details are very customized.
Yeah.
You make it for yourself. This the strategy which you follow, it's for yourself, and that is
Mm,
your
true.
daily routine. And those fine details only, they add beauty to everything. Beauty of preparation and beauty, like, you can say anything, that is those fine things, and that is individualized. So I used to listen to a lot of interviews, lot, and I did that. So at that time I was like, there was one interview that really, you know it instilled in my mind that I can do it. Yeah, no matter I'm starting from scratch, but I can really do it in 5 months. That was Dr. Akshat Tuli. He got May rank 5 he was, and
Mhm.
he was preparing for USMLE. He didn't get a match, so he just had 1.5 months, like exact 45 days, and he did it, and he did like rank 5. So
Yeah.
I was like, I have 5 months, so why can't I do it? I
True.
can.
And
Yeah,
what,
so
yeah, that's actually very rightly said. You talked about Dr. Aditya and about like the mentors that we have, a lot of people on YouTube. It's you customize that plan. You knew what are your strength, what are what you can work on, and instead of cribbing and crying that I have just 5 months, you're like I have 5 months. And I think
yeah,
that is
exactly.
something that we should implement in our life, whatever, because I also read a lot of interviews, and there were people, you found your mentor, I also found my mentors that time, and I think that we believed, and you made yourself a customized plan, and the belief that you had that I can build a mountain in that 5 months. And I think that is something
Yeah,
that the listeners should learn from you.
thank you, sir. And it was just one more thing. It was like 4th June. I
Mhm.
just remembered that, and I was clueless about like how should I do it, because I was not able to make a plan, because I don't know like how to go for it. So at that time, I just randomly took DAMS ka TND. I was doing it. Us time the result just came out, and they were so happy that I was like giving very good discount on that. So I was like, without thinking anything, I just went for it. It's like देखी जाएगी अब जो भी होगा, and that provided me with a like weekly plan, and it helped me out because I was able to do every subject thoroughly as it was supposed to be in the first reading. So I did that like very thoroughly, and at the end of the day, I was able to do everything in October, like first week only.
Mm.
That June, July, August, September, October, like it just took this month for entire, and I did it really well. Means there was nothing that I missed. I watched the entire videos, main videos at that time. I did like PYQs really well, and that was like I was making the best use of time. And
Mm.
those are the moments I'm really proud of.
And like as you talked about your plan, so a lot of it's very commonly asked question by the students. So I just want to ask a topper who is like rank 56, how many hours did you study every day, on an average?
It was like it just varied daily. Like I do not have like very specific timetable that I would stick to, like, oh, in all those 5 to like 10 months of preparation right now. But initially, because I just had 5 months and I had to start from scratch, then it was 12 to 14 hours for those 5 months.
Right.
And I know it's really difficult, but I was doing that because I was really serious about that exam.
Yeah, and as you said that yes, average was 12 to 14 hours, but I would also like to add that some days you might study 4 hours, some days you might study 14, 15 hours. But the day you study 4 hours, if you do with focus, it's enough, because you cannot be, like that best every day. And I think that is something we should always focus on. What about your day? I just want to know more about it, because a lot of students, it's not only about the talent and the like reading that you do, it's also the plan that you make. So how do you start your day? Just you can tell us about, from morning to evening, like how will you read your notes, if you do your q bank, and your approach to the grant test specifically.
The day would start. Well, I was not a, like, early bird or something. I would wake up like 8 to 8:30 in the morning, and the first thing I will do for getting out of bed would be dams ke wo aate hain na quiz, five
Mhm.
questions daily. So that's the first thing that I will be doing in the morning, just to give a slap to my face, just that you need to wake up now. You just have scored one, you just have scored two correct, or some days it was 5 out of 5. So then I'll just sit, and after doing the daily chores which we used to do, and take my coffee and get anxiety from it, because I used to take too much caffeine at that time. I used to get anxious after that. Then I used to do question bank first, and like I would customize a module of all the subjects which I have done till now, and I'll just use the hashtag aims at that time, or the recent updates, just because I was targeting only INI. So I would do it like that. And then after 3 hours, because I was always clear that this is 3 hours exam, so I just have to do everything according to that. So if I should be focused for these 3 hours, then I'll take a break, then I'll be focused for next 3 hours. It would be something like that. So it was first, every day would start with a question, custom module of those questions, and then I'll like switch on to the subject which I have planned. So in first reading, I did that entire of the videos and entire notes. Then like I was just distilling them down. So I was just doing again, I used to highlight with colors, and I just knew this thing that this is the color which I don't remember much, and this is the one which is the PYQs, and rest is something which I don't have to study
Those
in
are
next reading.
innovative. That's very nice. I mean, this is a very good point, and I think this will definitely help.
Yeah, this is like a senior of mine who used to be an SR there when I was an intern. He gave me this idea that you can do like this.
And
So
just what
that's
you
why.
said, about this SR, a lot of students, they keep searching for mentors. They write, like I will say, where you work, you'll find your mentors there. It doesn't have to be a, like, typical topper. You can learn from anyone. You should keep your eyes, keep your ears open, and you'll learn a lot of things from the other people as well.
And Doctor, I believe, like, everyone who comes to your life is there to teach you something,
So,
be it professionally or personally, and everyhow. So I learned a lot from my juniors also, and from my seniors definitely, and my batchmates too.
so,
So yeah, it was like that only. And just one thing that is left was about GTs, because the
mm,
people, they tend to take GTs like too seriously. Trust me, guys, I did that, and before November I never crossed 100 marks in INI ka GT in Marrow only. And in the main exam of that November INI, I got 1200 rank, 1277 to be exact. So I don't think GTs do matter at all. Matlab, they will help you in managing time, because you should not be scared of those 200 question in 3 hours, because that freaks you out. Initially, it used to freak me out, but
so,
it should not. That's why GTs are for. And you got to analyze your mistake, because what I used to do when I used to analyze my wrong questions and my skipped and my guest. The Marrow literally provides with this guest options wala, guest questions wala option, and that's really good. I used to say thing like, why I made this mistake. Was that factual one? So I'll just cram it and bookmark it, cram it. If it's a conceptual one, then I'll read the entire explanation and go back to my notes, where I went wrong in that. That I will not be making this mistake again. And I never used to take that score to my heart, because I knew that if this is my mistake, I'll improve it next time. So these are 10 questions which I would have done right, so I used to add those 10 questions to my score.
Cool.
This is my actual score, not this one. So this is how I used to calm myself down after every GT.
That's actually very nicely put. And just two lines for this viewers who are listening. Don't take your GT's score seriously. Don't take them to your heart. Analyze your mistakes well, as Dr. Shweta did. Otherwise, it will be, it will be of no use. It will just a waste of time doing a lot of GTs without proper analysis. And that's a very
Yeah, exactly.
so Shweta, today, like after the results, after the rank 56, we are seeing that radiant smile. We are seeing you are so happy. So, and we are getting so much of positivity from you. So, was it always like this, or you were also anxious, like as a student, during preparation time? Like, did you doubt that you'll get selected?
No, that preparation phase, like, it really changes you just for that period of time. It's just on you that how you take it forward. But that period is really difficult for like all of us. You have been through it, and I have seen your videos. So it was really difficult for you too. So that was like, I was anxious. I used to get anxiety attacks, to be very honest. And caffeine was one of the things that I should be blaming for. Then it was that period makes you alone. Everyone is a competitor. The people, at least, they think that you are their competitors. You are making them, feel inferior or something. So that makes you really lonely. And that is the time when you fall into these things, being anxious. And, we are also anticipating things. We are thinking that what if selection nahi hua to kya? Another year wasted. We think like this. And what I used to do is, whenever these thoughts they used to come to mind, I used to say this one thing, that I had that 3 hours of my exam, and I will not even gonna think 12 बज के 1 मिनट 12 1 पे क्या होगा. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna think about that till that 12, because the game is not over until you just click on that submit button. So just till that time only, I just have power to change what I'm gonna see in the future. And that is like, Zanab ma'am, she always say this thing, that at every point of time in my journey, I just have this right to say that no, that's not how my story is going to
With the
end.
end?
Yeah, so that is something that was instilled in me, that I'm not gonna take circumstances spoil everything. So I just I have this power within me, that I can you can do anything and everything if you believe in that. You just have to believe in yourself. And I luckily have few seniors. There's a DNB candidate now in our college, Dr. Sana. She's DNB orthopedics right now. So she was always there for me. I can say you have someone who believes in you more than you believe in yourself.
So,
So she was there. I had few juniors also, who were like always cheering me up, like, Roxette, you can do it. You just believe in yourself. We believe in you. You just have to do it. So I had such people around me. Not around, actually. They were always on phone, because I was
yeah,
at my home only at that time.
yeah. This is
Yeah, and plus your family. Yeah, it's your family plays a very important role when it comes to your preparation, because they have to tolerate you.
you.
I should say, because yeah, it's very cranky. You get very cranky and irritating when you're preparing. Then I don't used to talk much, and I didn't even like to talk much. Just for a time, like some question was going on in my mind, like I forgot this. What was that? Every time I used to do this, and they were like very helpful during that time, and my siblings also. I was very cranky. I knew this thing.
Yeah, I understand. And it's very important to hang on. Like people, as you said, that you have to take control of the things instead of crying about the things which are not in your hand. So, and I think this
Yeah.
positivity that the student should learn from you, because it's not always the positive things will happen, but you should have that idea in your mind, that how can I turn my weaknesses into my strengths. And with time you will learn that. And do not isolate yourself. A lot of people do that. They will deactivate their accounts, and they will isolate themselves from the friends, family. But trust me, your friends, your family is actually your strength, and they're going to give you that strength to win. And Dr. Shweta, definitely, she has again highlighted on that point. Tell me one
Yeah.
more thing, about like exam per se. I will ask that how many questions did you attempt? That is also, like rank 56. How many questions did you attempt?
I attempted 194.
Yeah, that is again, for INI 190 is a magic figure. You have to cross that. You have to take the risk because if you want,
Exactly.
practical rank. Tell me about, special books, anything apart from your notes, like you have done, read the notes as well. As you said that,
Yeah.
did you like, any other books or anything that you want to specifically add, specifically for INICT? Because a lot of students are
You
preparing
know,
for November session.
yeah, that's just one book in the market which has created like a really huge FOMO. That is first aid.
First idea.
So yeah, I use that only, like, for basic sciences. First aid was my suits. I annotated everything in it, but specifically, I was using Marrow. So Marrow, as everyone said, it was like really huge. So what I did, like, in my first reading, I watched the entire videos, and then whatever I think was important for INI, because it just not tend to ask the topics which were important, that somewhere around that topic they they just lurk around. So that's what I did. I just added all those points to my first aid, and that was the only thing I was revising, because I had first aid from 2018. I bought it in that USMLE wala time.
Yes.
I took that at that time only, so I was doing it only. So that was like really a good book. If you have not done, then you know it's not a compulsion that you should use it. If you have some alternate source that can really help you read everything in those last 7 to 10 days, then go for it. See, and if you have not started yet, then first aid is really good thing to start with.
Just adding to it, also people should understand that first it is also a difficult book to retain. I mean, there is so much information on a single page, and you literally can get a lot of questions from the same page. So you need to revise it. It's not like
Yeah,
you read it once and you leave it. If you read and revise it multiple times, then trust me, you'll get a lot of benefits from first aid. And I think lot of everyone who is preparing for INICT, and these are all the mentors, all the teachers, they'll recommend this USMLE first aid book. Tell us more,
yeah,
like, how do you pull yourself up? I mean, it's a lot of students, they are, they break down, and it's mentally, it's very challenging. Some students, they face very depressive phase. So how do you keep yourself, motivated throughout the journey?
uh, I was that time, that November wala time, I was not really good with that. I used to like frequent attacks. I started getting in the middle. It was like very frequent because I was not able to do how to do. After first reading, you really don't know how to go about revision. एक बार पूरा दोबारा से कर ले, same या फिर कुछ और कर ले. So at that time, I was not very good at that. That was the only thing I think that that made me screw up that exam. But after that, when it started happening again, because after I didn't get the desired result, so it was tend to happen again for that neat wala time. And at that time, I just used to say this thing to myself, that what this thing, this is of no use for me. If I'm getting anxious, what did it did to me? It just made me that that exam, that mattered a lot to me, and I stood up just because of this thing. So I don't think that it's worth spending time on, because you'll get anxious. Okay, that is something very usual, and you are going to use, your body is going to use various kind of defenses against that. We study in psychiatry, you can, it's just depend on you, like how you want to, you can be into denial, or you can be into humor, which I specifically, you can, from my words, you can easily, like, learn
Yes,
this thing,
yes.
that
Yeah, definitely.
humor is always something, yeah, that's gonna help you out with everything. So you can just laugh at yourself for some time. Okay, you did this wrong, it's okay, just laugh and just move on, because at the end of the day, we just have got 24 hours. Everyone has got 24 hours, इससे ज्यादा किसी के पास time नहीं है. So if you feel like that you are anxious in something, let it out. That's one mistake which I did, that I never used to express myself and my emotions in front of anyone, like be it my family, be it my friends. But that helped me, no, that didn't help me at all, I should say that. But you should let it out. If you want to cry, just cry it out, as much as you can, so that after that you will not be left with any tears or any pain at that moment. So that only thing which you will be left with is time to study, nothing else. So just you will pull yourself back eventually, because initially it's difficult, and you will learn your own ways of coping. That my ways was human, and I even saw, Dr. Your one video, In that, it was just 4.5 minutes video. It said that you told na that nobody is going to understand your situation because your friends would be at different phase and your parents, they are not into this phase, so they're not going to get it, but they're going to help you out. At the end, you have 400 contacts in your phone and you don't know who to call. So that time you have to make a call for yourself, to yourself. Just tell yourself, watch some good videos and watch some songs. Like I had my INICT playlist, Alex. I'm a music freak, so I have my INICT playlist. So I used to listen to this like in the end type of song, that numb in the end, because I don't have to think about anything else, just the exam at that moment. So I did these kind of things. I used to just roam around. I was at my grandparents house when I was preparing, and I was in that phase, so I used to just go to my dada dadi and used to blabber out anything and don't understand usually. And that used to make me laugh a bit. That was good time actually. So that's how I used to spend those moments of really like huge pile of anxiety when it was going around. So that's why I used to do this thing. I used to spend time with my family and with myself.
The only, that's very nicely put. The only person that is going to help you in this situation is you, and the only number that is
Yeah,
reachable at this situation is your number. You don't have to actually, dial anyone.
exactly.
I think that's very important for the students who are in this phase, who are not very happy with their INICT results. It was not always that, Shweta was always, like Shweta and the students like her, we were not always winners. Sometimes we had this situation when, we thought we lost everything, but then you have to pull yourself up. You don't have to expect anyone that, even I had this feeling that kisko call karu yaar, matlab, I had like, I was feeling so helpless. I had so many friends, but I was like, yaar, I don't know. And I think that is what she also did. She pulled herself up, and now today she is rank 56. So sure, it's I mean the kind of information and the experience that we have got from you today, it's amazing. Yes, I want to ask you one last question. What message you want to give to the students who are preparing for INICT November session?
First of all, you know, don't carry, the past burden with you. Whatever rank you had, I had like almost 1 lakh rank, in that NEET. And in the successive INI, I got 1200 rank in just 5 months because I wanted to work for it. I have been at your place that I was at my lowest, and I had been at a place when, nothing seemed reality. I just used to feel. But at the end, you are gonna drag yourself out of it because universe falls in love with a stubborn heart.
So
And universe sees all your efforts. And this there's a one quote that has stuck to me since I was in that UG days. So that is like, all the power is within you. You can do anything and everything. You just have to believe in that and believe in yourself. So just there are two kind of pains. One is of regret and other is of discipline. It's just you who has to choose कि discipline वाला चाहिए या pain वाला
pain
चाहिए.
wala chahiye.
Regret वाला चाहिए. Sorry.
True, true. I understand. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
very
just, yeah, that's it.
that's very nicely said, and I'm sure all this talk that we had is going to be a guiding light for the students who are preparing for November session INI. And see, it's not easy always for everyone. It's a difficult path, and people always bow to the rising sun, and they bow down to the person who has achieved the rank. But you should always look that struggle story that is behind. So thank you so much for taking
Thank
this
you,
time.
Doctor.
And I really
Yeah,
wish
thank.
you get your dream ranch, and I'm sure you're going to get successful, and
Hey,
you're
Dakshit,
going
there's
to win.
one
Yes,
thing I wanted to share. Like, on that
yeah, please,
exam
please.
day,
Yeah.
we have been told, ek din pehle Zanam ma'am took that
Mm.
Ashirwad class, and she
Uh-huh.
told us, keep on smiling. Throughout the exam, you're supposed to smile. Even if your system crashes, you're supposed to smile because the other one should think, यार इतना काम कैसे है ये? So this is what I did. That exam day, I carried with myself this thing, and what I was doing, I was just roaming around, I was singing the song. I got so far,
Let
and that
people
in the
wonder.
end
Yeah,
wala
let
gana.
people wonder what's
Yeah,
what's happening.
and there was a scene like there was a line, and everyone was like looking like this. Everyone was like, what is happening to her? Everyone thought of it, and at the end, throughout those 3 hours, I was very calm because I knew that you just have to be calm. This exam it's easy. It's just you have to be very calm when you are giving it.
Yes. And I think that's positivity, and that calmness is responsible for the success that you have achieved.
Yeah, yeah. I really, dedicate a part of it to that too.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you so much, for taking out time and talking to us. And as I have said, this is going to form a guiding light for a lot of students, who are preparing for INI. And this is going to, instill that belief in them that definitely it's, doable. So I wish you, everything in the journey that you're going to take ahead. And I'm sure you're going to get your dream branch. And I'm sure you'll achieve great heights in that too. So thank you so much. And
Thank
I'm
you,
signing off.
Doctor. Thank you.